What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets, here. It looks like my birthday month has come to an end. Um, but for all the bougie little people out there that like to claim birthday month, I'll just let them know that it's still my birthday year, so they feel less special. Um, jokes, 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 just in case you don't know. Um, I despise those people that are like, it's my birthday month. Shut up. You get one day. Um, so Oh, I guess I'm on ES right now. That was not intentional. Oh, excuse me. But I do want to go over today really quickly. We traded live for people in Keenan's Discord. Before the open, I had said that this is probably the spot to be in short or be in puts. Um, However, I didn't take it. And I explained why before the open, whatever. And then, of course, it turns into like a perfect short, all the way down to the area that we were looking to be buyers at, which we had identified yesterday on stream, on our YouTube live yesterday. We identified this level as a level we wanted to be in calls or be long. I hope you guys caught this on SPY. We basically binked it like to a T. And I wasn't at my computer at this time, but I did take a short. I want to say, I don't remember exactly where, somewhere here, and played it down. And my target was like, I don't even remember, honestly, 36, something like that, right around here. Even though this is a poor low and I knew they would probably break through it and go lower, I like to collect my monies and run. Took two trades today. My first trade, I don't even remember. I don't remember. But I took a trade live on stream. It went against me. I think I was in calls like here or long, whatever. Somewhere here. I don't remember where. Ended up going against me. Got stopped out. And then I think it basically ran to my profit target after it stopped me out. But such is life. It's not a big deal. Hey, what's up, Nora? And then the trade we did take was the short from here or puts and played it down and took profits. I don't even remember exactly where, but somewhere here. Hopefully you guys are learning how to identify these levels and to respect them. Last week I think we had like 3 trades where it literally tapped our level and like rocketed or dumped or whatever. Today we had it on both sides, from the top and the bottom. That doesn't sound very good. Both sides. Yeah. Anyway, jokes aside, I need to be a little bit quick today. Shorty's going to be live in about 55 minutes, so I've got to crank through this. Catching rockets. Thank you, TS. I appreciate that. I can't stop it. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's zoom out. This was the zone we were looking to be buyers at, and you can see we literally tapped it to a T, right to the previous day VPOC, and then bounced. And you probably should have been closing either here or right here. All of this is price discovery that we were not interested in being a part of. Okay, let's start deleting our stuff and let's try to figure out what they're going to do tomorrow. Hopefully we bink another one like this. That always makes me happy. That's all we're deleting for now. Let's go on 30 minutes. Oh, and just FYI, I don't have any option setups for tomorrow. I didn't have time to look. There probably is some good stuff, but I didn't have time to look at anything today. And then what was I going to say? Oh, there's a good chance I'm going to trade live tomorrow, and there's also a good chance I'm not going to trade live tomorrow. If I do trade live, it's going to be completely free and available for everybody. And I will post the link in Keenan's Discord, and I will post the link for people in my mentorship group If I don't trade tomorrow, then I'll definitely do it on Wednesday. But I feel like my body's getting to the point where it's going to say, screw you, and I'm going to sleep through my alarm. And, not that I don't want to trade live, but I think my body's just going to say, nope, time to get some sleep, bro. And I'm not going to be awake. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm pretty exhausted right now. So I'm just quickly checking my June levels to make sure that they did not move. It looks like this one moved just a tiny bit, the value area low. POC shifted a tiny bit. And I guess that's because we're making new highs. If price had stayed like in this range, nothing probably would have shifted up from yesterday to today. But so that's where we're at. We need to do our TPO stuff. Should be fairly simple here. Again, kind of like always, I'm going to draw it without TPO, and then afterwards we'll look at TPO. We have our single prints down here at the bottom. And then up here at the top, we have a spike. I'm actually making a conscious effort right now to not say So fuck you guys. I'm joking. Hopefully nobody in here is offended by cussing. If you are on the wrong channel. I apologize. As I say, I'm making a conscious effort not to say and I'm all Jam, no, I'm going to be live on Zoom because there's no delay, and yeah, there's no delay. And then also you guys can talk to me and ask questions. Like today was a pretty crappy day as far as trading was concerned, so we actually ended up spending a lot of time fuck you talking about I can't do it. I can't. And me trying not to say is making it worse. Piss off. Now I'm just going to laugh at myself every time I do it, which is even worse. All right. So, I'm going to take some sip of water. Anyway, so today we ended up making much of the stream into an educational stream where we were talking about setups and whatever else, because there just really wasn't much going on as far as trading. And I feel like my initial trade entry was good. I don't remember what I took it off of. What did I take my trade off of? I must have deleted something. Oh, I had a buy side imbalance like somewhere here. I don't remember where. And I got in, I think it was like right here basically. And I got into calls or got in long off of that. And then they wicked me out here and stopped me out. And then they went up and hit my profit target. It was very nice of them. I appreciate it. Like they literally tapped my stop loss like to a T. Which was not fun, but such is life. Our second trade turned us green on the day, and we closed out the month of June up like over $1,000, which is not a very good month for me, but I had a 40% win rate this month on trading, which is outrageous for me. I'm normally around 70 to 80%. And so 40% is really low, but because on every trade I take, I'm always risking $1 to make 2 or more. On my biggest trade this month, I was risking $1 to make 4. And because of that, I'm net green for the month. Otherwise, if I was trailing stop losses and doing other BS, I would be red right now. Let's see. I think also this is a good time for me to be doing lives because anything up here, we're in price discovery, right? And so we don't have levels. And so I can't be like, oh, if we break above this, take longs or to grab calls, because I have nowhere to tell you where to close it. I need to see, price go higher, come back, give me a retest, and then at least I have information up here to look for levels to close my play, right? And just in case I didn't mention it, seriously, fuck you guys with the I hope nobody takes offense to the crap I say. It's all in good fun as far as I'm concerned, but some people might get offended, I guess. If you're offended, you're probably softer than a wet paper bag, and this is not the chat for you to be in. This is not your channel. I am not your people. If you are easily offended, I guess just like mute me and just look at what I'm typing on the screen and take trades off of that stuff. So anyway, this is our levels for tomorrow. 100%. Highly doubt they'll give it to us, but if they do, just in case, I will be in calls here. Like, no questions asked. Right? And let's just look at futures. We're kind of ripping right now. Where is our close? Where's our open? So this is our open. Let me get rid of VWAP. It's like right in my face. This is our open. Where are you? Bro. Okay, this is our opening candle. So we closed right here. And since then, we opened slightly bullish, pulled back to red from today's close, went a little bit further red, bounced, and now we are green from today's close, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see them do this for my futures traders. And if they do this, right, if they give you a retest of this level, it would not be a bad spot to hop in long. 251 down to 250-ish. I'm not going to give the stop loss. You guys can figure that on your own. But for your take profit, I will give you a level because you don't want to be trying to take profit up here. It will not end well for you. So let's load up my other trading software. Actually, before I do that, let's zoom out really quickly on SPY. We have what is going to be an abandoned baby candle right here. This is generally going to be a bearish candle. Like the next day, we're probably going to get selling from here, most likely. So I would not be surprised to see a red day tomorrow. We had pretty good volume today considering there was no freaking volume. Like, we just traded sideways. Market makers are probably trying to just offload their positions right up here at all-time highs. And yeah, this is definitely a spot where I think we could potentially reverse and get a nice healthy pullback, possibly pull back and bounce, maybe even go higher and then get some more selling. But we'll have to look at it, on a day-to-day basis. And right now, to me, this looks bearish, and I would not be surprised to see us have a red day tomorrow. I wouldn't actually be surprised with a trend day down, but we'll have to see. I don't think we have a ton of news. Let's peek really quick. And actually, while I'm peeking, let me load up my other software so we don't have to wait for it while I'm talking. Yeah, so right at market open, right, we have the English Governor Bailey speaks, Japanese governor speaking, Powell is speaking. I heard today that he lied while he was giving testimony, and I guess he got caught. I didn't really, I just heard it, so it could be rumor. I'm not really positive, but I heard something along those lines. And then 30 minutes after the open, we have manufacturing PMI and we have JOLTS job opening. And then we also have ISM manufacturing prices. All of this is going to give the market some moves and volatility. And all of this happening right at the open has the ability to give the market some moves and volatility. So we need to be aware of that. And we need to be ready for it. Why is this not connecting? Can you stop being difficult? Thank you. When I have this up, I can't really see my chat, just an FYI. Somebody asked about Apple. I might have a second to look at it, but I don't know that I will. Oh, nice, Gonzalo. Welcome. Yeah, so I might have a second to glance at it, but I don't. And especially if it made a big move, like there's really nothing that I can tell you. But I'll try to peek at it, but no guarantees because I have to record my mentor's YouTube session in a minute here. So basically, let me pull this up on the screen so we're all on the same page. Man, you can tell I'm taking this from like a massive monitor to a 27-inch monitor because this is huge charts, right? Whoops. Now I lost it forever. All right. The level that we were looking at is 51 to 50. Retesting that, getting in. I'm pretty sure that is what we're looking at. Double check. Yeah. It seems like we're so much higher, and this chart looks like we're just barely above that price, which is kind of weird. I guess, yeah. We're up at 50. Is this live? Why isn't this moving? This is wild. I guess price is trading kind of flat right now. It's pinned at 54. This seems weird. Yeah, so now it's 55. Yeah, it's just trading pretty flat. So the main thing we're looking at would be where to close that trade. If you get in at 51 to 50, I would be closing at 61 at the best. You could try to push it to 63, but that's a stretch, just an FYI. 60 to 61, possibly 62, 63. I'll just put a little range on the chart for anybody that's trading. ES. This is the zone where you want to close if they give us this retest here. Okay. If they don't, they're probably just going to go up and smash and hit this. So just a heads up. Let's just quickly see if we can identify anything worth looking at for tomorrow. So unfortunately, just tonight, this is not going to be helpful for us. Possibly 36 to 31, 35 to 31. That's not terrible. Let's look at 35 to 31. would be a decent spot to be in calls. And let's establish, excuse me, where that is on our SPY chart. Is it down here? Wow. $61 to $63, and then, so what candle is this? 1145. Okay. So if you take this, your stop loss needs to be below single prints, preferably, even possibly below previous week value area high. Just heads up. Should be pretty clear. Right. And like I said, as long as I'm live tomorrow, we'll reassess if we need to. If these high volume clusters have been taken out in the overnight session, then we'll reassess and figure out what our next move is for tomorrow. I also quickly want to look at imbalance charts and just make sure there's not any massive key imbalances that we're missing. Or for the ignorant people, HVNs, FVGs. I am such a pain in the ass. By the way, I'm sure you can hear it. That's my wife playing with the baby. Doesn't look like we've got any, which I'm fine with. I've identified already two very key levels that I'm good taking trades off of. This is going to be a nice one when we finally do revisit it. But for now, that is not in the books, so I'm not worried about it. We have one way down here as well. But that's about it for right now. We have nothing above, nothing where price is currently trading. I know I'm like super zoomed out, but it might be a little bit harder for you guys to see, but easier for me to see the whole picture when I'm zoomed out like this. So this is a buy side imbalance at the beginning of a trend, right at the beginning of a trend. So this is always something we're interested in on a retest, right? This one down here, like we started to trend up and then they chopped sideways, created a buy side imbalance, and then they ripped. This one might not be the best to try to take, but this one for sure I would take. And then we've got some, I don't even know, way down here. Excuse me. This one's in the middle of a trend. I'm not interested. This one's at the bottom of a trend. I'll take this. The only issue is you have a buy-side imbalance here, here, and here. And you probably just want to go with like a smaller sizing on your trade with a much wider stop loss in case they blast through this one, possibly bounce on this one, or blast through this one, and then finally bounce on the third one. But this might be eventually a good level to be looking for calls or longs when we come back to it. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. For now, imbalances are no help to us. Anyway, we've identified the volume clusters, high volume clusters, to get into trades, or I should say to get into calls, to close calls, and to get into puts and close calls. I kind of said the same words with different things. What I meant to say, we identified where to close puts, get into calls. We identified where to close calls and get into puts. So that's all good. Let me close this trading software. It's 5:30. We'll peek at Apple really quick. I don't think, like I said, if we're like new all-time highs, I'm really just not going to have any information for you. Right now, things are doing what they want to do. Wait. Why can I not think of there we go, the symbol for Apple. Sorry, it's my first day trading, everybody, and I've never looked up Apple before. FJ, if I go live tomorrow morning, typically I start like 15 minutes, 20 minutes before the New York session starts. That way I have 20 to 15 minutes to talk about my plan, identify levels, tell people where I'm looking to be short, where I'm looking to be in calls. And that's kind of how I run things. Look at how things worked out in the overnight session, and earnings in July. So, I mean, it's almost in a buy zone. For shares, this is a spot where you would be interested in getting shares. If you're interested in options, you might have missed the boat. Like if they tap this again, I would grab it. For options, I'd probably be closing right around here. You could also consider closing right through here. So basically, if you took this, you could be grabbing like 20 points roughly on Apple, 18 points here to here. For shares, unless you want to hold them long term, which I don't know why you would, I would be closing right around there. That might not make sense to a lot of people. Like, oh, Apple's a really strong company. It does really well. There's no reason to look at Hood, but we'll look at it. There's, what's it called? Why do people suddenly think we're doing like a request stream? Because I don't have time to look at a million requests. We'll talk about Hood just because I love to talk shit about Hood whenever I can. It makes me really happy in my pants. But the reason that I say, for me, at least as an investor, Apple is not a long term hold. Is like when, I mean, God only knows what could happen, right? Things were pretty tense there for a minute with Israel and Iran, and then the U.S. got involved and started dropping bombs. And traditionally, countries that are at war, it's good business for the country, but for the people in the country, like, you'll end up having to ration food and other things, and things tend to get difficult. And when you're in difficult times like that, or even if it's not due to war, like it's recession, or like right now, like our what's it called? Inflation is through the roof, and it's affecting everybody, but everybody's spending money like it's not affecting them. That's why the market just keeps ripping and ripping and ripping, is because, like, nobody seems to care that inflation is through the roof, and they just keep putting more stuff on credit cards and whatever else. Anyway, so during those times, like, people aren't running out and buying iPhones or Apple products, iPads, whatever, tablets, I don't know, MacBooks, whatever else you guys use. Because when you're more worried about, like, where your next meal is coming from or whatever else, like, like the Apple products, they don't taste good when you try to take a bite out of them. And they don't really fill up your stomach, So during times like that, companies like whatever, Disney, Apple, are traditionally not going to do very well. And so it's better to be invested in companies, that have been around and survived through recessions, which Apple has. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Apple's going to go out of business if there's a recession or if there's war or whatever else, but they're going to struggle and the stock price is going to come down. And then that's when people that love Apple, that's when you strike and you load the boat. Right now, we're not at a price where you want to strike and load the boat, on a long-term position. This wouldn't have been bad. I'm pretty sure, like, me and Shorty were saying 170-ish on Apple. So this was an opportunity here to buy. Like, out of all of the more recent areas, like, this was a great buy zone through here. This here. So when we came to here, this was a great opportunity, again, to grab some short-term shares. I wouldn't be holding it for a long term just right now, due to what's happening with the world and the economy and so on and so forth. Again, they're not going to go out of business. If you have, like, a good dollar cost average on Apple, whatever, sit on it. You might get some drawdown, but eventually they'll bounce back and you'll be fine. But if you're looking to get into a position, again, like, I've identified some pretty key levels. Wouldn't be bad to get shares there. I would just be securing profits once I'm at, like, these key levels to the upside. And then when they give us a good opportunity, at a much lower price, like 140-ish through here wouldn't be terrible. This would be even nicer. And people think I'm crazy when I do this shit, but it's real. Actually, that zone probably needs to be a little bit higher if I'm being realistic, but I'm just doing this really quickly. Like, any of this would be, great spots to, if they come to here, buy some shares. If they come here, buy more. If they come here, load the boat, So stuff like that. Actually, even better if they came back to here, which people will think I'm absolutely nuts highlighting this, but I mean, this is where you sell your kids to buy shares of Apple, right? If they give it to us. So the big thing for me is, like, when I'm looking at long-term investments, I'm interested in, like how that company did during recessions or depressions or during wartime, things like that. I want companies that are strong and that are going to do well, right? And again, if your dollar cost average is down here, just sit on your shares. You're going to be fine. So that's Apple for me. Hood, let's talk some shit about Hood. It's bitches. So people might be confused as to why I absolutely despise this company, but I absolutely despise this company. And when this happened, when they IPO'd and like this happened, like dude, I was like a pig in shit. I was so happy. And to people that don't know, like literally, I mean, there's a few companies. Let's not just be mean to Hood. Let's call everybody out. Oh, it's going to take too long to look it up, but I know a few companies did this. But so basically, January 21st or January of 2021, several brokerages, notably Robinhood, restricted trading on GameStop and AMC during the height of the short squeeze. This action, which temporarily disabled the buy button for these stocks, was due to a combination of factors, including yada 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 yada. You should have been slapped the hell down by the SEC, and the CEO should be in jail. But that doesn't happen to CEOs, right? We protect them, and the SEC goes, "Oh, here's a little fine," and they're like, "Ha ha ha! We made billions, and all those fools lost a bunch of money." And we only got charged, $500,000 in fines. We'll do it all day, every day. So to anybody that doesn't make sense to, basically what happened is, no, I'm definitely not going over ChargePoint financials. I don't have time to do that. I've got another 20 minutes and I need to be gone so that Shorty can go live for his update on futures. And also ChargePoint is just not a company you want to be holding long-term. They're not doing well. Their stock is down so far without even pulling it up. It's just not something you want to be investing in. Anyway, Robinhood was one of the primary companies. And to some people, this might not make sense. In the stock market, for every single transaction, you have to have a buyer and a seller. So like if you've ever tried to buy a share of a stock and you hit buy and it just sits there and you're not getting filled, it's because nobody's selling at the price that you're trying to get filled at. And if you're trying to if you're trying to sell and the share is not selling or your option contract is not selling, that means that nobody is buying at the price that you're trying to sell at. So if you take something like GME or AMC, and it's like literally right in the middle of a short squeeze, and there's just like a metric ton of retail investors, in this trade, and it does finally squeeze from 20s all the way up to whatever this is, $121 and some change. The issue was price spiked up, but then everybody's hitting, like, let's just say it goes to 121, and so somebody hits sell at 121 and there's no buy button, so there's no buyers, so then they hit sell at 120 and there's no buyers, so they hit sell at 119, and then they panic and they go, okay, sell at 115, and price just keeps dumping because there's literally no buyers, because there can't be buyers because there's no buy button because some fucking bitch took it away. And I hope he fucking rots in hell, and the SEC that didn't do anything to him, I hope they go rot with him as well. Anyway, it's nothing personal, like I'm not upset or anything, but companies like this can literally just suck it. And I said this earlier today in Keenan's Discord. Like, the CEO of this company is freaking amazing, right? To have your stock basically, open IPO, I don't know the exact price, but whatever, roughly we'll say $33, and then rocket all the way up to $85 in a matter of days, and then dump all the way down to like $6 and some change, $7 and some change. And then come, what is it? I think right here, October. You guys can Google this to fact check me. Fact check me. On this earnings call, they also did like a conference call where they started talking about things that they're implementing on Robinhood. And this is where the CEO is brilliant, right? Like, you got to give him credit. He probably sold his soul to the devil, like a lot of famous musicians do. And so what he did was, and this is genius. This is absolutely genius. So Robinhood announced something, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's something to the effect of like the Gold Club or something like that, where you have to pay a $5 monthly fee to be a member of this Gold Club. And if you pay the $5 fee, then you can apply for their credit card. And the credit card gives 3% cash back, which is great for people that are financially savvy, that like basically charge everything to their credit card, like all their groceries, their gas, their bills, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And basically charge as much as they can every single month on their credit card. And then at the end of the month, pay the whole thing off. And then they're, essentially getting like a 3% return on their spendings, which is great for that person. But for a lot of people, they're just paying that $5 membership because it makes them feel happy. And the only way that you can get this gold card from Robinhood, this gold credit card, is if you are a member, or if you are a customer of theirs, meaning you have to be investing in Robinhood, like on Robinhood. You have to be using their app and trading on their platform, or investing on their platform. And then you also have to be paying the $5 monthly fee. And so Robinhood, not only are they getting this massive amount of income from, like, I don't even know, millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of subscribers, and then hundreds of millions times 5 every month is a lot of money. And then they're also getting income from every time a person uses their credit card. They get, like, a kickback, whatever it is, 35 cents, 45 cents, every single time somebody swipes that credit card. And so they're driving more clients to their platform, because in order to get this really amazing credit card with a 3% return, you have to be a subscriber and you have to be a paying member at $5 a month. And so they're just making money hand over foot. Like, they're making money from their subscribers. They're driving more business to their company. And then they're getting a kickback on every single purchase somebody makes with this credit card. I mean, the dude is a freaking genius, and I hope he rots in hell. But so he's a genius at the cost of his customers. And then, like, the even dirtier part is, like, to name yourself Robinhood, like, after, the OG dude from back in the day in England that used to actually, like, steal from the rich and give to the poor. This dude just steals from the poor and gives to the rich. And, like, to even try to compare yourself to that stud back in the day is despicable. I would spit on your grave and your mom's grave. And if you don't like anything I'm saying, I apologize, but, you guys don't have to be here. But this is just my opinion about this trash-ass company. And right now, we're at all-time highs. So I think just within the last, like, day or so, they announced something to do with Bitcoin. Oh, and also here, October 30th, they also announced, like, futures trading and just a lot of stuff that's, like, beneficial for their customers. But as a customer, you just always have to be afraid. At any minute, they might remove that buy or sell button and you might be stuck in a trade and you might get a hot poker shoved up your ass. But hey, whatever. It's easy platform to use. And you know, like it's easy. It's on your phone. You just click buy, click sell. There's no real charts. It's just some weird line that you can't really use, you know, as a chart. So you don't really know what you're getting into. You just click buy and sell and hope for the best and gamble. But anyway, right now we're at all-time highs. Me personally, like if I was in here, I don't know. I would probably close a good portion of my investment to where I'm like risk free, right? And then, you know, just hope we keep getting more good news. Again, the CEO is brilliant. He's a super smart guy. I'm sure he's going to bring out more and more stuff that's beneficial to the company, and people are going to forget about the dirty ass shit they did over here that fucked everybody over, except for me. I won't. I'll be talking about it forever. And if I ever meet this dude, I swear on my life, I will kick him in the shins. I won't punch him. I would love to, but then like he could be like, "Oh, he assaulted me." If I kick him in the shins, like I could be like, "Sorry, I tripped and like accidentally kicked him," you know, whatever. But yeah, again, I would just I would take off a portion of my position here, just to be risk free on the trade, and then I would just hope that this dude like makes more pacts with the devil and comes up with even more better stuff to generate more revenue for this company. If you look at their earnings report, they're crushing it. They're doing really well. But, you know, and then you just hope the stock just keeps like, you know, smashing higher and higher and higher till they split, and then you get double the amount of shares, or price gets so high they do a 10-to-1 split, so you end up with, you know, 10 times the shares that you had. And you just hope that this dude just keeps making more deals with the devil and letting his wife sleep with other men because he's not worthy of a woman. And then, yeah, you want it to just keep splitting and just going higher and higher and making more and more money, and just let it ride. I mean, hopefully you bought down here. That's, you know, and just ride this shit out. Dude, again, he'll probably sell his soul 15 times over. And come up with some more brilliant ways to screw people over and make his money more make his company more profitable, so that you know, like his stock can just rocket and split and multiply and split again and multiply and split again and multiply and just keep going and going and going. So with all of that said, I mean, right now is not a time to buy, but if you're already invested, this is a good company to be invested in, unless you're not willing to make pacts with the devil. So if you're like me, I would rather chew my foot off than buy a single share of this company. And I don't care. You could tell me right now today, hey, you can buy shares here, and in a year it's going to be at 98. I'd be like, that's nice. They can go fuck themselves. I'll keep my money. And I would rather, you know, like go lay in a ditch with dog shit or something. I don't know. I just... my morals and my moral compass will not let me... put any money anywhere near this company, based on how dirty they did their customers. It technically didn't even affect me, but it's just trash. The CEO's an utter piece of shit, and I would never, you know, like some people might not even realize this, but like as an investor, you're helping the company, right? As a shareholder, you're actually giving that company money to better itself and get bigger as a business and, you know, do more things. I don't know. It's the best thing I could come up with. I don't know. Fire ants. I'll lay in a fucking pit with fire ants before I would make $100 a share on this shit ass company. Like, take your pick. I don't care. Whatever. So I kind of forgot where I was going, other than I just would, like, my morals would never let me, invest any money in this company and help them, you know, go further as a company and eventually screw over more people. So I just would never do it, and I won't do it. And again, I will say the CEO is a genius, great company to be invested in. They're probably going to, you know, split and split and split and split. And as an investor, you'll probably make a boatload of money, all at the cost of your morals, you know, but it's not a big deal. I don't know, like Michael, just a couple of small things about them that I don't really like. That's all. So yeah, I mean, Silo there, he's right alongside Robinhood. I kind of miss his alter ego, whatever it was, where we were going to trend day up and we ended up having like 6 trend days down in a row, and I was wrong when we were live because his analysis is better than mine, and then it turns out that he was wrong 6 days in a row, which is pretty rough. And then I guess if you call trend day up and you have like 6 trend days down in a row, and then the 7th day happens to be a trend day up, are you still even remotely right? Because you're lower than where you even said we were going to go up from. Hood did not split. Are you listening to the conversation? No, I wouldn't short Hood. I said eventually they'll split. The CEO is doing a lot of good things. Their earnings are crushing. I'm sure this earnings, they'll probably absolutely smash it out of the park and probably get, like another 10-point move or whatever. You guys can quote me on that one. But I still wouldn't buy an option in their company because I'd rather choke on somebody's dick. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but there you have it. Yeah, I said split. I said they will split. I didn't say they did split. I said they will. Will in future tense, in the future. Not today, not yesterday, later on down the road. With all of that said, I got to bounce out. Sorry, I know a couple other people asked for me to look at tickers, but really this is not like a request stream. Not what it's about, but I could not pass up the opportunity to talk shit about Hood. I mean, that's just gold. I will post a screenshot of this, and Shorty's going to be live in about 7 minutes. I mildly apologize for my language. Not really. Maybe I apologize for saying choke on a dick. Yeah, I do. Nothing else. Yeah. Anyway, Shorty be live in about 7 minutes. Going to go over futures. So anybody that's new here, you probably don't want to follow me based on my rant. But if you found this mildly amusing, I mean, it was all factual based stuff. But if you did happen to enjoy my rant about why Robinhood is a piece of shit and the CEO should rot in hell, give me a subscribe and we'll do it again another day. With that said, I would definitely recommend tuning in about 6 minutes to catch Shorty's update on futures. The guy is absolutely goated and a genius. With all of that said, much love, much respect.